Good morning, good afternoon, good evening Internet, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Economical Rides. Hi there. Unfortunately, I was unable to get out on a bike last week, so I didn't manage to make a video for you. But I do owe you an update on the Meteor shock upgrade options, so that's what we're going to give you today. As you may recall, I had two different pairs of replacement shocks being tested by two viewers of this channel. We had Glynn Hallett in the UK, who was testing a pair of Hagon shocks, and we had Corrado Spagnuolo in Italy, who was testing some previous generation classic shocks from India. So first up we have Glynn's new Hargon shocks. I believe that these shocks are using a slightly softer spring than the standard Meteor shocks. They're also slightly longer. In this first picture you can see the Allen bolt head at the top of the shock facing rearwards, which is used to adjust the damping. And here you can see Glynn's Meteor in all its glory, with the Hargons fitted. I have to admit that Glynn's Meteor is looking really smart. I'm also liking the rear rack and tail pack Glynn, a very nice combo which really suits the bike. So what were Glynn's impressions of the Hagon shocks? Well, unfortunately, according to Glynn, there is little discernible improvement in the ride comfort. He suspects that the ride is slightly better, but the difference is not significant enough to justify the cost of the upgrade if an improvement in ride comfort is what you're looking for. These Hagon shocks are very high quality, as you would expect from a company with Hagon's reputation, but that also means that they are not cheap. I believe they cost Glynn around £250 sterling delivered to his door. I'm sure that they offer better control than the standard shocks, and they will almost certainly last a lot longer too. Overall, Glynn is happy with his new Hargons, but he did conclude that they have not improved the softness of the ride to any significant degree when compared to the standard shocks. Still, if you're interested in these shocks yourself, you can of course purchase them from Hagon directly or from various websites such as Hitchcock's Motorcycles. So that takes us to our second option, the previous generation classic shocks from India, which Corrado purchased on eBay. So Corrado purchased these shocks for around €80, but because the seller was in India, after taxes and import fees, the final cost of these shocks delivered to his door ended up being around €125. Here we see the standard shock on the left and a new shock on the right with the piggyback reservoir. Here you can also see that the shroud at the top of the spring is chrome on the replacement shocks, but black on the original Fireball shock. So that's something to bear in mind if you're a fan of chrome or you prefer a stealthy black look on your bike. That might make these shocks more or less appealing to you. Here we can also see that these shocks are not a straight swap, unlike the Hargons. Corrado has removed the bushings from the new shock and is about to transplant the bushings from the standard shock into the new shock. This is not a difficult job, there are videos on YouTube showing you how to do it, but it is another step you will have to take in order to get these shocks to fit your Meteor. So here we can see the shocks fitted to Corrado's Meteor. In this close-up we can see that the shocks are marked with the word Endurance. Do look for that to ensure that you have purchased these same shocks if you decide to order a pair, since there are a few shocks out there which look very similar but are not stamped with Endurance, so they might not give you the expected result. So, once you've spent €125 getting the shocks delivered to your door, you've swapped out the bushings and you've fitted the new shocks, what's the end result? Well, according to Corrado, these shocks do indeed improve the ride comfort. He estimates the improvement to be in the range of 20 to 30%. Obviously, a short travel shock with a top mount almost directly beneath the base of your spine will have its work cut out trying to deliver a plush ride. Riding through potholes will still be best avoided, but for smaller bumps and uneven road surfaces, these shocks seem to be a significant improvement over the factory ones. Corrado even went to the trouble of comparing the dimensions of the new and the OEM shocks. The standard shocks have a spring with an outside diameter of 56 mm and a wire diameter of 7.5 mm. These replacement shocks have a spring with an outside diameter of 54.5 mm and a wire diameter of 7 mm. So clearly we would expect the new shocks to have a slightly softer spring. I will post links to these shocks in the video description. I will also post the Royal Enfield part number for these shocks, which might assist you in identifying whether or not you are purchasing the same shocks. So, there you have it. The Hargons are a quality shock upgrade, but probably won't do much to improve your ride comfort. The previous generation classic shocks are significantly cheaper and do offer a significant improvement in ride comfort. So what am I going to do personally? Well, based on the feedback of these two kind viewers, I am very tempted to give Corrado's eBay shocks a try. Unfortunately, as many of you know, I am now unexpectedly facing having to buy some Meteor touring mirrors, so I think my own shock upgrade will have to wait for a while. Rest assured, when it does happen, I will report on my own experiences with these replacement shocks here on this channel. Many thanks to Glynn and Corrado for buying and trying these shocks and sharing their experiences with me. I hope this information will be of use to many of you. It would seem as though, if you are looking to improve the Meteor's ride comfort, the shocks Corrado bought and fitted are a great option. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in a future video. Who knows, perhaps I'll even get out on a bike in the next one. Bye for now. Cheers.